Okay, good evening. It is October 30th and 2023. This is Debbie Davis. So things are heating up every day, as you can see. You know, so I am, I am I'm trying to reveal more things that have happened to explain some of the things. I've been trying to explain the level of corruption that we're up against in my videos for a long time, and because the mainstream media is not telling you some of the things that have happened, and the real level of corruption that we're up against. And, what I saw as a whistleblower, so I've been slowly trying to leak it out as much as I can, with I have other responsibilities and different things. I'm busy and, so I wanted to talk about a few more things tonight and show a few more things, because I have in the past, when the Arizona stuff was going on, with the whole recount there, I was exposing some things about McCain, and I showed that one picture of him. And as you know, McCain, now it did come out in that video, as I talked about, it did come out in the fall of Cabal that McCain was executed for treason. He had the wrinkled flag, which meant that he was a traitor. Okay, he did, he didn't, an honorable flag would not be wrinkled, and it does confirm that in the Fall of Cabal, series number 9, and so, it's just that, they didn't make it clear at the time, because so many people thought of him as a hero. It was just kind of, it took a while for people to grasp. It's taken many years for people to grasp really how truly how corrupt he was. He was the head of the deep state. He was the secret kingpin. Okay, so he was pure evil. Okay, and I saw it firsthand because I saw the corruption at the military bases, and but it's beyond that. It's beyond that. We're dealing with people who are not fully human. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to explain here. I don't, you can't, there's no other way to say it. I mean, he's got, okay, so I showed this picture in one of my videos before, where you see him with these slit eyes. This is a picture of him at Hanoi, where his real eyes are coming out. They're like slit eyes instead of round. Okay, but there's more pictures of him with the slit eyes too. He would like to wear those hats, and that was to cover his eyes. And here is Bush. If you can see real close, he's got the same eyes. Bush, he's got they're slit instead of round. Okay, so we're dealing with people who are hybrids that have been a part of running our country. Okay, I mean, it's just you can't deny this anymore. And so, all right. So then now I want to show something, because I had exposed what. Okay, and then I want to show another thing about McCain, but I had talked about the election in Georgia, and how there was evidence, and how the Secretary of State and other people are trying to cover it up and not. Okay, so I want to show you this video that you probably never saw about the Secretary of State, Brad Ravensburger. Okay, and this was covered up immediately and taken down immediately. You can, okay, so he's interviewed on this about the election, and his face starts to morph. Okay? You'll see it. Okay.
Biden leads, as you know, by more than 14,000 votes. Are you aware, Mr. Secretary, of any recount in Georgia's history that overturned a margin that large?
I'm not aware of any, but we will, do our statewide recount.
Look at his
face. Have you seen any evidence of widespread fraud or anything along those lines?
This is right on the regular news.
We have
Look at his face.
Ongoing investigations, but we've not seen something widespread spread of a large nature. Nothing in the order of over 10,000.
So what does that mean, nothing in the order of 10,000?
We have ongoing investigations, but
Okay, so they're showing it in slow motion, showing his face morphing on this. Okay, this YouTube channel is called Divine Truth 1, and I'll put the link right underneath so you can see it. Okay, and it's called Kane's Kids. Okay, so you can look at that channel, and so I'm sorry. Would you trust somebody like this, actually being in charge of an election? Somebody that's a shapeshifter, okay, a reptilian shapeshifter, okay. It's not. I mean, you can't hide this anymore. It's right there. They're coming. They're starting to. And McCain was. Here's McCain. Here's McCain. Here's a video somebody did, just showing. Okay, so look at his hands. The hands shape shift, and they have these tongues. Okay, his hands they sort of look like claws at the end. See that? Okay. All right, and then he's always got his tongue out like a reptilian, like that's one thing that they do. Oh, my phone. Okay. Let's see. Where did that go? Yeah. See his hands? They kind of look like claws. He's got his tongue out. Weird. He's got the shape of his hands. See his hands? And the thumb is shape shifting. Alright, so that, yeah, so somebody put that compilation together that is, realizes, like I do, what was really going on with him. So, and there's a lot of people, there's a whole compilations of things coming out. There's Divine Truth channel, and there's also one called, there's a couple other ones that you can look up where they have people morphing, and you can see who Soul's Base is the other one. Soul's Base is another YouTube channel where you can see some of this stuff. And okay, right here, Soul's Base. Okay, I'll show you this channel. Reptilian. Okay. All right. So that's, yeah. So, okay, wait. Didn't come up. Okay. I'll have to find it. They're trying to, it's called Souls Base. Shape. I've got a bunch more I could show. But what I wanted to touch on, I wanted to talk about the other links between. So then, as you know, I moved from Arizona to Minnesota, and then to South Dakota, and I was fine for a while in South Dakota. It's real peaceful there, and then I started having problems because of the links between McCain and some of the senators there. They started having me harassed. Okay, so it goes. So John Thune and John McCain were very close. Were very close. Here's John Thune and John McCain, and they were buddies. And so John Thune is one of the senators of South Dakota, and he is a very corrupt senator. And as you know, Trump didn't like him. They were always fighting because he knew the ties between him and McCain, and he knew it was dirty. And so. And I don't know if you remember, but Trump had talked about this years ago. He had mentioned briefly about a military patent. He called it intellectual property violations. There's been intellectual property violations that were sold to China, and he was talking about South Dakota. He was talking about the senators were involved in illegally selling military patents from the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. South Dakota School of Mines and Technology has inventions, patents, and intellectual property. I don't know how so much important information is there. And inventions and patents. Why are they storing it in South Dakota? I don't know but this is where they had them. And apparently these senators took it upon themselves to think that it was something that they had the right to sell. That wasn't yours to sell, senators. So that's called treason. Okay, so I don't know, that's, if treason is treason. So, that's why I get frustrated why there hasn't been more arrests, because, there's so much corruption. I just can't, it's so hard to wrap your brain around how much corruption is going on. And then I was on a show with one of the ladies named Laura Hubble, who was a state representative in South Dakota, and we were on a couple of radio shows together. And she had told me all kinds of things because she was a state representative there for several years. And when the stuff started coming out about human trafficking in Arizona, and then there was that certain really huge child trafficking operation that they found in Tucson, child trafficking, then they tried to cover it up. Well, that company, that Cemex company in Tucson, Cemex company was involved in covering up the bodies of the victims there. That's what they do. They put them in cement, apparently. And that Cemex company came from South Dakota. Okay, that cement company was sold from South Dakota to Arizona. It was sold to a company in Mexico, but they also did business in Arizona. So, yeah, so cement plant called Cemex was sold for $252 million. All right, so that was in 2000. That was sold to Arizona, or well, to Mexico and Arizona. It was a company that they do business in Mexico and some in Arizona, I guess. So anyway, these are there's a ton more links of different things I'm going to talk about, but there is basically McCain, was hugely involved in corrupting all of South Dakota. It's and we have I've talked about this. We have a very serious trafficking situation going on right through my town, and it goes right up through Highway 281 up to through North Dakota into Canada. And so that's why I've had such a problem. We have a very serious problem in McPherson County, South Dakota, and we've tried addressing it in every single avenue that we could. Okay, so we filed a petition to try to get this sheriff removed. We filed that didn't work. We filed complaints with the Attorney General. They never responded. We filed complaints with we filed a federal lawsuit. The federal lawsuit was illegally dismissed by a judge named Roberto Lang, who is a corrupt district judge that was appointed by Obama. And so we paid $400 to file a complaint against the county, and our case was never even allowed to be heard. Okay, so it's called a corrupt judge, and there's a lot of them everywhere. And then we did file a complaint with, so it was the old Attorney General and the new Attorney General. It was Marty Jackley, then Jason Ravensburger filed with him, and then he never responded. Then now it's Marty Jackley again, I guess, is back. And then we also filed a formal complaint with Kristi Noem, and she's office, and she's fully aware of all of the corruption in our county. And there's been no response. So I mean, so if you are fully aware that there's this much trafficking, not only it's not just drugs, it's human trafficking. And what they're doing is they've been grabbing kids off the Indian reservations for years. And there's several different Indian reservations all around my area, the Aberdeen area, and all throughout South Dakota, and they've been stealing the kids off those reservations for years. Okay, so this is sick, and it's been going on apparently for decades. Okay, so but so we have a very serious legal problem in our county where we can't get nobody can get any kind of criminal help at all. It's just it's every single person. There's nobody that is actually getting any justice or heard of any of their complaints. Nobody has ever gets back to you about anything that you submit throughout the whole state. Okay, so there's never any justice. It's like decades of corruption that never. So this is a very serious problem for me there because we had just a ton of corruption. It's very dangerous. We have some very dangerous people in our county, and we can't get rid of them because the sheriff is the one of the criminals, and then there's other criminals there too, and we can't get rid of them. And it's dangerous for people to even live in that county. Extremely dangerous. People are terrified, and so it's at the point where it is basically an emergency, a very serious situation, because there's people are moving out because they can't because they're so terrified of what's been going on there. And I'll share more of this next video of everything that's happened. But I wanted to share this a little bit tonight. Okay.